can't say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to history class. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week off last week. It's a beautiful day, or at least it was when I started making this. I don't know what it's like there right now when I'm sending this out, but that's your problem, not mine. All right, so if you watched that video that I gave you on last Monday, you saw a little cartoon about civilization. Civilization is when people come together and build their own culture. Okay? And you may have wondered where it all began. You probably didn't, because that's not how kids think. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Lucky you. Here's a picture of the world, a map of the world. And we're going to zoom in on this part over here. See that part that's circled? Yeah, we're going to go there. And let's zoom in, and you can see that place. The name of that place is Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is the birthplace of civilization. That's where civilization began. You see those two rivers there? They're called the Tigris and the Euphrates. And Mesopotamia is that little land that's in between them and all around them. Because Mesopotamia means between two rivers. You need water. Water and land are the most important things you need if you're going to build a civilization. And there's lots of water in this place because the river makes sure that land has lots of food to grow, lots of plants. So it's a good place to go. Lots of plants, lots of animals. And so it's a good place to start. And that's where the first civilization started, in the land of Mesopotamia. So, in the beginning, we had Adam and Eve. They weren't a civilization. Then they had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids. And they made a civilization together, but it was very wicked. If you read the story in the Bible, it was very wicked. God sent a flood to destroy the whole world, except for Noah and his family, and let them build again. Well, Noah's had kids, and their kids 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 had kids, until we get to this, the Tower of Babel. If you don't remember the story, what happened is that all these people came together and said, God told us to go all over the world, but we don't want to listen to God. We don't want to listen to God. We're going to stay here. We're going to make a tower that goes all the way up to heaven, and that will show God how strong we are. Well, they disobeyed God. So what God did was he came down from heaven and he messed them up. You see, back then, they all talked the same language. But now, God mixed their language up so that they couldn't understand each other, so they all had to leave. The place where languages was changed was called the Tower of Babel. After the Tower of Babel, or Babel, depending on how you pronounce it, people scattered all over the world. And some of them came to Mesopotamia. And they said, hey, this looks like a really good place to live. But they did not build any cities. No, they didn't build any cities. Instead, they became nomads. Nomads are people who don't have a place to live, but travel around. Okay, they're looking for places where it's better to live. They have no houses. They live in tents, like this one. They live in tents like this. That tent there is made out of camel skin. Okay. It's not a regular house. It's just a place you can set up. You can live with it. And when it's time to go, you can tear it down and go somewhere else with it. Okay. The nomads traveled around looking for places where there was water and where there was food. They would stay there and until all the food was gone. Then they would get up and go somewhere else. Give the food that was there a chance to grow back. And then when time was right, they would come back there again. They would travel around looking for places where there was plenty of food and water for their animals and for themselves. They didn't build many houses because you can't really move a house. They did build some buildings. You can see a picture of some of the type of bricks they would have used, which were made out of mud. They're made out of mud and put out in the sun where they would bake and turn hard. The problem with bricks like that is that they crumble very fast. They don't last very long. So we don't have a whole lot of information about what the buildings the nomads lived in would have looked like because they didn't use things that would have lasted very long. But it was in this place in Mesopotamia that the nomads lived, and then after a while they began to come together and build cities. We will talk about those cities on another day, but for now, here's the questions we want you to answer. All right. Number one, where is the birthplace of civilization? And that is Mesopotamia. Number two, where did language get all changed up? And that is the Tower of Babel or Babel. And number three, what do you call people who have no home but travel from place to place? And that is the nomads. The nomads. Okay, that's it for us today. Tomorrow we will talk about the lives of some of the nomads who lived in this area. Okay? Well, that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow.